Yo, it's Hood Talk Podcast, and just like I promised, we are here with another dope episode. And on this episode, it's kind of different because we are spreading awareness. A lot of people don't know what PCOS is, but a lot of women have it, and it's not talked about a lot. So today, we are going to talk about it, and we going to learn. How y'all two ladies doing?
Good. How you
Great.
doing?
Hello. Hello.
I'm great. I'm great. I appreciate y'all for, what I'm saying, chiming in and telling me y'all story, being, vulnerable with that. I appreciate
Of
Not a
course.
problem.
Anytime.
it. So, I mean, we can get this ball rolling. So I want to know, what age did you get diagnosed with PCOS? We can start with you, Jericho.
I was 14. Probably right around the time I should have started my cycle, and I woke up with a beard and a mustache and a deeper voice. Like it wasn't. I didn't have a cycle. Like I didn't have a cycle. So I woke up basically trained. I basically was turned into a little boy overnight. It seemed like it. Um,
Mm.
Facial hair, a deep voice. Like it was just crazy. That was my puberty. That's what happened. About 14 years old. Yeah,
Yeah, and so you knew something was wrong. Like I should be, what I'm saying, having a menstrual, but I woke up with this instead.
with facial hair instead. Yeah, it was embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, especially to be
Right
14.
at the yeah,
Mhm.
right at the age you going into middle school and high school, and oh yeah, it was bad. It was
That's
bad.
lovely.
Oh man, what about you?
For me, I would say right when I started my menstrual, which was about 12. And but in my day that I was told that once you start your periods, they're gonna be you won't get them every month. They'll regulate themselves after a while, so I got my period and then I would go 2 and 3 months without it. So being that I was a tomboy, so I wasn't sexually active. I wasn't doing anything. So it's just my parents like, oh, okay, that's normal. But it became regular. And like you, Jericho, I got my hair on my leg. I looked like I had leg warmers. Okay. At an early age, I had sideburns to here and I would just shave it off and
Mm-hmm.
not. And I've always carried a deep voice. So, I always do just like, oh, and then after a while, I was like, oh, I'm not getting a period. I'm good. I'm not doing nothing. I mean, I was a tomboy. Would have hindered me from playing. So I was
Yeah,
like, I could swim, I could do everything. And I never thought about it until I got married and was trying to have a baby and I wasn't ovulating and I was going 6, 7 months without a period. And then it was like, that's when I got the official diagnosis would be probably around 21, 22.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow. Were you actually diagnosed at 14?
Probably about 15. I got the
Wow.
diagnosis. Yeah.
I was gonna say, now did the doctors actually like know what it was? Was that y'all's indication? Like when y'all was growing the hair, did the parents think something was wrong and take y'all to the hospital, to the doctor, and they say, well, this is what it is, or did it take a while?
It was kind of like immediately for me. My dad, it runs on his side of the family, so my mom kind of already had an idea. That it
Hmm.
was a possibility that, I would contract it. But I didn't know that, I didn't know personally that my dad, it ran on my dad's side of the family. I didn't find that out until what, this year? Maybe
Wow.
this, yeah, my cousin told me that she had went to get her hair removed. So
Mhm.
it's like I had no idea, that it they all have it literally. My sisters, they have it, like it just runs in our family. So
It's definitely hereditary for
it's
sure.
definitely hereditary.
Mhm.
Does everybody know though? I mean, I know you said on your dad's side. What about yours, Elisha? Does they know over there?
No, no. So I do know. Oh, I'm sorry, me and my phone. So I do know that my
Oh,
grandmother had it, but at the time we knew nothing. When I say nothing, I was the first to figure out that I had it. And you guys would never believe what they gave me when the doctors found out that I had it. They gave me metformin, which is um,
yeah,
diabetic medicine to
yeah.
regulate my period. I don't have high sugar or and it kind of messed my system up, but it did regulate my periods. When we went back, we realized my grandmother, because with polycystic ovarian syndrome, the older you get, it's not as strong as when you're younger. So that's why you see a lot of women in their late 40s. Oh, I have a baby, because it's really, really strong when you're younger. So my grandmother tried to have babies for 13 years and she didn't have them, and then had 4 kids in 4 years. So when you do get out of the stage of it, you can be very fertile. I'm one of those women. I'm 48 with a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. And my babies came, boom, and I lost 3 sons, but every baby came back to back to back. And I did insemination and never got pregnant. And
Mm.
so it never got pregnant. All my pregnancies were natural, but I was in my 30s. My last baby was at 38. So it's almost like they call it like the Benjamin Button. It's almost like you're backwards. And so some cases, the older you get, it's not as strong as when you're early teens, early 20s, you're 25 trying to get pregnant. It's probably really, really strong. But no, for me, we found out that my grandmother have it. And like I was telling you earlier, my daughter is showing signs of it, but I know how to get on top of it and what I'm doing to, prevent her from, her diet, certain things I'm doing with her diet and certain help. I'm a very naturalist person. So giving her little natural things, even though she's 10, so that she doesn't have to go through what I went through. Her weight's a little heavier than normal girls
Mhm.
her age. So I can tell those are things that I went through
Yep.
where I'm short. My daughter's tall, but I was short with mine. So it was like a major thing. And going through school with hair and being a little overweight is, like you said,
Yep.
it's embarrassing. Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, hold on one second. Keisha's on the side. I can't just log you in. I would have had to send you the link. Hey Aunt V, hey Keisha, hey Deborah. Thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all have questions or anything, I can read them for y'all. Comment on the side. While we talk to these lovely ladies. What's up, Chardonnay? I
Hey
just met
y'all.
you here.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi
Hello, ladies.
y'all. Hey y'all.
Hey.
So what about you? What age was you diagnosed with PCOS?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I actually was diagnosed with my son. I've had it for now like over 11 years. Um, yeah, and it's definitely been a journey. Um, man, there's so much you could say about PCOS, man, but it's definitely been a journey. So I was diagnosed with him and I had him in 2013. So that's how long I've had it.
So
Mm.
what? So what? What is it actually? If one of you ladies could explain what is PCOS actually? What is it?
It's polycystic ovarian syndrome. So every month we're supposed to have a cycle. For us, the cycle, we may or may not have a cycle because they're very irregular. So where we're supposed to produce a egg follicle, we just produce the follicle. There's no egg. So it's not, we don't, some of us don't ovulate. It's basically, some of them are insulin resistance. There's different kind of PCOSs. One of them is
Mm-hmm.
insulin resistance, which is the one I have. The other two I don't really know much about because I haven't really educated myself on them because they're not the ones that I have. But it's basically where you're not ovulating, you don't produce the follicle that you produce can turn into a cyst. Is basically what it
Mm-hmm.
on your ovary. So instead of producing an egg, it'll turn into a cyst, and then now you have this mass on your ovary that can cause you so much pain that you can't stand it. I had to have mine surgically removed, so it's yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah.
you had to have the cyst or your ovaries.
The cyst
Oh
that
my,
was in my ovary because it kept growing. It had been there since I was 14.
damn.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Deborah on the side, she said, and not whichever one of you ladies would like to answer this. What's the worst symptoms about PCOS?
Um, Man, so for me, I have weight gain,
Mm-hmm.
depression. My face will break out, just acne out of nowhere. Um, Things like, I don't know if I said like depression be associated with that. And then I have like pain in my body too. So like my stomach and my back, you know what I'm saying, will hurt around certain times. Um and like all of that just like tie together, like with some, anxiety can come along with that. um and then like one of the main side things for me too, as far as not having no kids. So that be, one of the things that comes with that. But I do have a story to tell after that. If y'all follow up with us and Hood Talk podcast, I will talk about that later, with a personal interview I'm going to do. But
Okay.
not having kids, so that be like a big thing too. But it's overall, I'm not gonna lie, it's something I've been working on, because it is very, I mean, it can be very depressing, y'all. Like it really can. And it hurts your body. Like you be in pain, you know what I'm saying? And then to not have kids, face just breaking out, gaining weight, you know what I'm saying? So if you think about depression, anxiety, all this stuff going together, for me, I dealt with depressive eating. So it's like, here it is, I'm gaining this weight, I'm dealing with this. A lot of stuff was just tying together that just makes it like all bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's right about the weight gain because even you can diet. I remember being on a diet and gaining weight. And I'm like, wait a minute, like I didn't did this whole diet and gained weight, but I don't know how old you young ladies are, but I am knocking on 50, like knocking, like
Oh,
looking
you
in the
don't look
horizon
it, girl. You
right there.
You
still look
look good though, baby.
Hallelujah.
You
young.
look good.
Hallelujah.
Too.
And I know now in my life, so I don't know who's out there listening. In a lot of cases with PCOS, um, anything can be reversed. And I say that because PCOS it starts in the pituitary gland in the brain, and so it's inflammation. It's like you said about your body hurting, you depression, anxiety, all the weight gain, the hair. You feel awkward in your own body moving around, and if
Hmm.
you're trying to conceive and you're not getting a period, but you're going through all these symptoms, and you
Hmm.
feel like you're pregnant, but you're really not. It is emotionally damaging.
Damaging.
It
Yes.
can hinder relationships. It can hinder how you feel about yourself. Some women have been known to be suicidal. So I say this to say, don't ever give up hope. I'm a very person on natural stuff. They have filled me with so much medication that it damaged my body years later. But I've learned trying to eat more natural, try intermediate fasting, fasting throughout the day, just really focusing on mental health helped me. I did fertility for 2 years. They literally, my kid's father, his sperm was 20, 30% better than the average male. And they cleaned it and inserted it, and I never got pregnant. Never got pregnant. And then all my babies came naturally. So in a lot of cases, in some cases, not every case, but in some cases, I had to change my way of thinking. I had to change my eating. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm snack queen. I probably got a snack right here. And as soon as the cameras go off,
He
I'm
said,
about
I
to
got
start
the
over here.
snack right
People,
now.
listen, depending on how long this is, I might be snacking. But just and it's hard to lose weight. It's hard.
It
You will go.
is.
You almost have to do everything cardio. But like sitting down, you can follow a keto diet and look up, and your friend lost 20 pounds and you lost 20 ounces, and you like, okay, I'm done. And it gives. You just can't give up. If you, for you, I know you were saying about having a baby and one, don't give up. Sometimes just that mind over matter, and I've lived it. I know it. I'm telling you. The doctor told me recently. She said, "Are you trying to have more kids?" I'm like, "No." She said, "Girl, cause your eggs,
That's what they.
everything looks. You're in reverse. Yep,
That's what
reverse.
they
So the
told
older you
me.
get, yep. See, you'll be
Yeah.
50 years old with an infant. Listen to me.
You know what? That's super. That's super. Like everything you just said, though. That's why I said, like, I follow up, with this interview that we gonna have together. But the natural thing, I'm big on that too.
Mhm.
And that's what I started with, like, cause I'm just like, I feel like everything can be reversed. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Everything can be reversed, and I went on a health. I went on a health journey. I was up to like 215 pounds. And I just, during COVID time, I started working out, starting at home. I started changing
Good.
my diet. I started, just clean eating. And don't get me wrong, like it wasn't easy. Like it was not
Mm-mm.
easy to first
Mm-mm.
start. But I didn't give up. So it was like the days that I found myself, I might have slipped up. I add more days on. Like, Charnay, keep going. But what you said as far as reversing, it definitely can be reversed. Because I mean, I do have a story to share, you know what I'm saying, revolving this, you know what I'm saying, and it can be reversed. And what I've learned with mine, and I'm getting, what you said too, the different stages. So there are the insulin resistant,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
there's one that is the chronic, it's one that is a chronic one, there's one that is a post, like after you get off of birth control.
Mm-hmm.
There's one, I think
Mhm.
that's like the type 3, is that's the third one, and then it's another one that is the high stress one. So it's like four different types that comes with that. And for me, I just, the reversing of and eating better foods, it can reverse some stuff. So let's just say, if you, depending on what you got going on, you got to take the time to research what it is
Mhm.
that you have specifically going on, so that you know what you need to work with. Because natural stuff, going the natural route, doing natural things, working out, even though, like she said, you can be working out and think that you doing something. You feel me?
Hmm.
Think that you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, hype me up. You look in the
Body of a
mirror and it's
goddess?
like,
Yeah, okay.
like, you feel me? It'll had you like, man, I've been doing all of this, but I feel still so heavy. I still
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
feel so bloated. I still feel like this. I still feel like that. But I didn't give up. And that's the thing.
that's
You
right.
Right.
cannot
That's the key.
give up. You have to keep going, because I went from that 215 and I had dropped down to 180. You know what I'm
Come on
saying?
now.
Certain things that my doctor start telling me, whatever you doing, keep doing it. I was
Mm-hmm.
taking myself off of medication. They wanted to put
Yep.
me on diabetes medication. You know what I'm saying? It
That's
comes
so
with
fun.
diabetes too. You can get
Mhm.
diabetes from having PCOS.
Yep.
They put me
Yep.
on metformin. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
I'm on it
I
now.
was cool. I did
Yeah,
not
Yeah.
that's what
want
you're
all that
talking about.
medication. I didn't want that medication. I feel like if I got to take something every 3 or 4 hours, you know what I'm saying? It's not good for my body. Let me
Mm-mm.
start seeing what I can do better. And let's just say that some things did get reversed. You know what I'm saying? Some things did happen in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I know, okay, you went through this, you tried it. And that's what I was doing. I wanted to be a trial for myself, so that I
Yeah.
can be able to help other women. You know what
Someone
I'm
else.
saying?
Exactly.
So,
Now, I want to say, like, a lot of women don't even know what PCOS is. Like, I was telling the ladies in the podcast, explaining it to them, because I don't know. All I know is I had a homegirl, and like y'all said, it come with the acne and the facial hair and stuff like that. So one
mhm.
day she told me, like, I got PCOS. I'm like, PCOS? I ain't never heard of nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how could we
Mhm.
spread more awareness about it? So, you know what I'm saying? So people, women to know,
I,
especially if they going through some of the triggers y'all done went through. You
I
feel
mean,
me?
honestly, it's really the women like us right here. It's
Yeah.
really, up to us too to really just open up. Because what I've learned too, going through what I have been through these last couple months, there's a lot of women that go through things that sometimes are afraid to speak up. They
Mm-hmm.
think that they're the only person going
Mhm.
through.
Yep.
And I feel like, it need to be more women with a voice that don't mind, talking about something, that don't mind sharing their stories. You know what I'm saying? That, maybe we need to come together and put some type of group together, you know what I'm saying, to where we can start having seminars or having things,
Talking to
where,
young women.
yeah, well, we can talk to them
Mm-hmm.
about it and just be more educated. And I'm actually glad that that you did speak on this, because it's so, I've said it before. I'm like, PCOS is something that people, they don't know about. I mean, even when I got it, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just really completely, even though I didn't had it all this time, understanding it at first, yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
difficult, because it was like, okay, what's going on? Like, really, what is this? Like, like, this how I was at first. Somebody be like,
Okay.
what's PCOS? I'm like, polycystic, like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't
That word.
know. You feel me? I
Yeah.
didn't know. So it was like I needed to take the time to basically focus on myself too, because all
Mm-hmm.
three of us on here sound like, could have different types of PCOS. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So, just being educated first within yourself, and then being able to speak, okay, this is what's going on. But I really just think we just need to have the voices. Just speak
Yeah.
up. Don't be afraid, you know what I'm saying?
Ashamed. Yeah.
Ashamed of
Ashamed.
it, because it's
That's what
nothing
it
to be
is. A
ashamed
lot
I
of
was
of.
gonna
yeah.
ask that. Was y'all ashamed? Like, especially Jericho, with you being so young, you said you was
Yeah.
14. And you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, with you know what I'm saying, you said the voice change and and the hair. Were you ashamed? Like, how did you deal with that as a young child?
I was already a tomboy, right? Um, I was okay. I'm a lesbian, so I was, I was never really attracted to men. But it was like even when you got the male attention, it was mean. Like it was mean. Like I was teased a lot. I have the PCOS where I have darker skin spots. So my
Mm-hmm.
neck is darker. My armpits are darker, and I think that may be it. But it's noticeable and you can see it. And sometimes people will be like, "Well, if you put a white rag to your neck, you will see." No, it's not
Yep, I
dirt.
remember that.
It's not dirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Your
not
insulin.
dirt.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's literally just from the PCOS changing the color of my skin. Like it's really not dirt. I remember being a kid scrubbing the area, you know what I'm saying, trying to turn it back to my regular skin color. It wasn't working. Like they put me on suicide watch because I was scrubbing my skin so tough. It was red, it was raw, like because I didn't understand why am I changing colors? Like what this is crazy
Yeah.
to me. Like it was bad. It was bad for me during my during my teenage years, but in my adult years, it's like, hey, it is what it is. What you get is what you see. I ain't,
Yeah, now, why
let
does
you
it
know
bother?
what's up.
Why does it change the voice? Like, what is? Why does it make? You know what I'm saying?
It's
The
a
voice.
hormone imbalance. I
Yeah.
have more testosterone
Gosh.
than
Yep.
estrogen.
That's the
So,
hair
yeah,
too.
that's
Yep.
why I grow the facial hair. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if my estrogen is elevated, which is normally about around my cycle time, if it's elevated, my voice is, high perked and high pitched. But somewhere mid month, I'm telling you, you might catch Barry White on the line. It gets deep.
I
It gets
promise you.
Hello.
it gets
I
deep.
promise you.
Like like
Listen, I don't even grow hair. Listen, after my kid, I am hairless. I'm like, what is going on?
Okay.
Because as a kid, I'm like, what is? How do you have a hairline to here? Okay, eyebrows all the way. Remember Al B. Shore, that
uh-huh.
Yeah.
singer? I can't look at his video. That was me. I had a unibrow. Okay, and nobody told me. Like y'all didn't tell me just to take a razor right through the middle. None of that. So as I got older, it's like I'm like a lot less hair than before. A lot
Yeah,
less
they
hair.
tell you not to
But
As you
shave,
can
but they say that make you grow more hair. So how did y'all deal with that? Like you out here shaving,
I
it's making it grow even more.
carried a
I
razor in my
hey,
purse.
I
I was
keep
like,
my
one
two
moment.
strands.
Come
I
on,
go straight with the tweezer, or I'm so cold with it now. You
come
feel
on
me?
now.
I just straight. You feel
Oh,
me?
you good.
Make the
You're a
face tight.
professional.
Make your face. You got to make sure it's steady right there.
mm-hmm.
Gotta keep
Give
Yep.
it
it a
tight.
good
Gotta keep
grip.
it taut.
I straight use my finger and be like,
Listen,
or I
my
get a
legs were
tweezer.
so hairy. My legs were so hairy. I went down south to visit my cousins, and she said, "Girl, your legs are so hairy." She had me perm the hair on my leg. I had enough about this long. That was a ponytail all the way down. I said, I was like, who does? And we listen, but we made you had to make do with what you had. I mean, you
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
Facts.
So is
Facts.
hair
So
everywhere? Like, is it just the face and the legs, or is there other parts of the body that maybe the hair grows?
I've heard I'm in a
mine was
PCOS
on the
group
arm.
on Facebook. I know that some women get it on their breast, on their
Hmm.
back. Like it literally will grow like the hairiest man you've ever seen. Some
Yeah.
women get it that bad.
Get
Like,
that bad.
yeah, it gets
Yeah.
bad.
Cause it's like it's so
So
many
that's why.
different. Go ahead, mom.
No, I was just saying, showing awareness of it, like y'all were saying, it helps the us talking about it. Because I mean, I'm a girly girl. Like I have an
Mm-hmm.
image to uphold, but I
Okay.
don't care because if it's gonna help another person, seeing it in my daughter when she was 8 and she's fair complexion, so the dark spots, and I was
Mm-hmm.
able to go to the doctor and say, hey, there's something going on with my baby. So because my generation we held secrets, and sometimes in the black community
Facts.
we keep secrets. But I'm not going to go through nothing in my life that traumatized me that I can't help somebody else. Then I went in vain, especially if I haven't gotten all the help that I needed to get help with. So seeing it and being able to talk about it, and like you said, there's women. For me, my shame came from being married. I didn't start having kids until I'm divorced now, but I didn't have kids until like the 11th year mark. And people talked about me like a dog. She don't want no baby. She worried about her career. Get that man a baby. They didn't
I
realize
know
I
I'm
was
supposed
working
to be.
hard. I
Yeah.
listen. I
Yeah.
was working
And
hard,
you was
and
supposed
then
to be
go
open every night.
do. Oh, I'm like, what? And
Okay.
then I would go to the fertility doctor, and they're like, you're broken. So I'm not only getting poked and picked, and they're counting the cysts. So I don't know if you ladies ever had it where
Mm-hmm.
they got you spread eagle and they got students and they're counting your cysts. And instead of them counting your eggs, they're counting the cysts that you have. And you got to, then they give you hormonal medicine and they make you feel like you're pregnant, but you don't get pregnant. And it's like the depression of, it makes me emotional now because I think about all the times I'm like, I think I am. I think I, oh, and you
Negative.
get your period. Or you don't even get a period and you got a negative. I could
Negative.
buy a Jag, brand new Jag with cash for all the pregnancy tests I bought and they were negative. And you like, wow, really? My period was funny. I used to do this thing. If I bought a pregnancy test, my period would come in 2 days. So I said, "Oh, my period's not here. Let me go buy a pregnancy test. I know it's gonna be negative, and then my period would come." It's almost like my body knew that she's not pregnant. And then when I did get pregnant, I didn't believe it for a while. I'm like, "Who's pregnant? Me?" When I had my first kid, my son, when I lost 3 sons, because I also I had an incompetent cervix, so I had PCOS. Get a baby, and my babies are falling out basically.
Mm.
So my son came home. I called him auntie's here instead of saying mama's here. I was like, oh, me, you my son. Because I was so used to being an auntie and
Mm-hmm.
wanting and longing that when I did have it, it took me a couple of months to say, hey, you actually got a living
It's your
baby. You
baby.
beat the odds. You beat the odds. My
Yes.
daughter's name is Miracle Journey. Her name is 20 some years old. And that's with you, with your story. It's a whole nother. I'm telling you, you go through this, it mentally, when you come on the other end of it, you can see other women that's going through it and your heart just bleeds for them because you don't
Right.
only have the longing of maybe you don't want a kid, but still the side effects are
Yeah.
I want to look like a woman. Like I want to be, I want to look or listen, I used to know how to shave at the light. Nobody would see me
Okay.
real quick on my way. And don't miss a spot. Don't miss a spot. And somebody looking at the side of your
Baby.
face like there's something
It,
going on. Yeah, it's
it's
a lot. It's a lot.
And
it's
see, and
crazy
my,
because like
my
your
hardest my
thing is
hardest
like
thing was
my bad.
acne. Oh no, you're okay. I'm okay. My hardest thing, see, mine was acne and the weight. That's what I've
Mhm.
always dealt with. So it was like, growing up, I mean, people probably like, I used to get picked on. Like I was always the thicker one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was
That's
thicker. You know what I'm saying? That was me. Like I was the bigger one. I was the thicker one. I was, you know what I'm saying? Like it used to get to me though, because it was like, certain stuff I try to go put on. I couldn't fit stuff. You know what I'm saying? Then I was tall too.
oh,
And
I wish. I
throughout
wish.
life, it just, like back then, I mean, I don't know if I even had it earlier, you know what I'm saying? But I do know the weight just started it was just there. And then the acne,
Mhm.
I tried everything, you know what I'm saying? It was like, why am I just breaking out? Why is my face just, you know what I'm
Why
saying?
me?
Like what's going on?
Right.
So that was embarrassing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then for me, being involved in certain stuff, you know what I'm saying? Being an artist, being involved in the stuff, it'll be times where my face will just break out when I've got something coming up or I got a show or whatever. That's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it started to feel. Like at first I was embarrassed about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Having a weight gain. I was embarrassed about stuff. You know what I'm saying? That on top of I had other trauma that I went through in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it was
Yep.
like having this, it was more triggering. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, I'm going through this. So it's like growing, I just really, now I'm not gonna lie, at the age of 34 I just found the best thing that I have ever used for my skin. What is the CeraVe or CeraVe? I don't even know how to pronounce it. the
What was that again?
the
Could you
what
put
is
it in the chat?
Yep,
Oh, I know what
it's
you're
what.
talking about.
Yep, it's spelled
Yeah, CERAVU.
CERAVU. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yep.
you feel me?
Really?
That's, and listen,
Now
when I
now was it prescribed to you by the doctor or
no,
is this something you
it's
found?
in the stores.
Mm-hmm.
I got it from Kroger. They got different type of brands. I end up getting a exfoliating one and I use it
Mm,
every day. And when I say my skin and even just, I ain't gonna lie, stress, cause I have a combination of more than one of the PCOS. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm.
have a combination of more than one. So like the skin thing, like I have really, like my face have really done really good lately. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? Like it has really done good. And then I have noticed I've been working on you got to work on certain things too, like
The help.
stress. Stress
Hmm.
ain't nothing but a big dumpage of just BS in your bloodstream. You know what I'm
Come on
saying?
now.
That's all stress
Yep.
is. You know what I'm saying? And it can really, that's part of one of the ones too. One of the high level PCOS is a stress one, and I deal with that one too. So it's like, I have, ooh, I'm getting kind of emotional because I'm not gonna lie, it's been so much with it. You know what I'm saying? And even
Mm-hmm.
still, you know what I'm saying? Like even still, and I want to share my story with y'all so bad, but I gotta wait. I
You
gotta
gonna
wait.
watch that?
Then in the comments, Keisha said she remember she had her period for 4 months straight. Now, have any of y'all had a prolonged cycle?
No,
I've never.
not prolonged. More so, mine was more so short. I had painful cycles at first.
Dysmenorrhea.
They were very painful. Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
very painful. But as far as like they irregular, like mine, it just started being irregular. It'd be like a couple of days, literally. You know what I'm saying? Stop to where I wouldn't even need a whole pad. Sometimes it'd just be like, you got a penny liner or something like that because it wouldn't even be nothing. It'd be stopping like,
Nothing. Mine
Dang.
would be what they would bring mine down. So like let's say I went a few months without one, they would give me, I think it was called Prevera. I can't remember so long
Yep.
ago. And they would
Yep.
bring it down. That's what it is. And so
Yes,
now mine
severe.
where it would have been like 5 days would probably last maybe 9 because and you're all drained because it's all that, menstruation
Backed
from
up.
months coming out. Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably but just to have yours for 4 months, that, I don't know. Because usually it's irregular where you just don't have them. You're not
Yeah, you
ovulating
don't.
every.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Now,
Yeah.
out of the medications that that you guys were diagnosed, did any of them help with the PCOS, or did they not work?
Metformin helped regulate me. It did help regulate me, but again, I didn't get the diabetic. I have low sugar, so I was in a diabetic coma one day. Um, Listen to me. You take metformin and you eat something that you're not supposed to eat. I don't care how bad you clench. I don't care how bad you keep your mouth closed. It's coming out one way or the other. And I
Facts.
didn't know. I didn't know, and I was at a wedding. Okay, and
Oh,
let's just say I didn't make it to my destination where I need to go to, and I was in the sun because I don't deal with being diabetic. So here I am in the sun tearing up the sweets. Okay, because again, I'm not a diabetic, and I'm like, oh wait, this doesn't feel right. I don't care. You can't. My daughter was on metformin, the liquid, and I had to put her in homeschooling because metformin is
That's
hard on your body anyway when you have diabetes. Then to not have it, and I'm eating, so my sugar dropped so low. I was in the same spot for 18 hours. They thought I was asleep. I was dying and didn't even know. So that metformin is hard. I don't know. Do they still did they do your to regulate your your menstruals or
I am on metformin now.
okay,
Uh, and I don't take it in. Well, okay. I'm supposed to take metformin, but I took myself off because I
okay,
have been doing this natural thing.
good, good.
I've been because they want to put you on all this crazy medication. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Like maybe this is the reason why I got this going on. So I just took myself off of it, and I'm just gonna see how it works because I've been off of it probably for about 3 weeks. And
Okay.
I haven't really been having much. I don't really see much of a difference. So I don't know. We'll
It
see.
takes. How long were you on it before? So it's gonna take a minute to get out your
Years.
system. Yeah, it's
Years.
gonna take a minute. Hmm.
but
Yeah,
why is
I
that?
did. I did what you did. I took myself off of it
Yeah.
because it did just that. It would get to your stomach. I
Oh,
didn't like it. It made me very very sick. Like not just
horrible.
not just down there, but out my mouth too. Like
Yeah. Yep.
I couldn't take it.
Oh.
It just didn't do no good, and I was just like. Plus, like I said, I don't like pills anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like.
I just told my doctor, I'm like, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm like, I'm pretty much not gonna take these. And that's what really also, got me into that health journey because
Yep.
I knew that I needed to do something to help my body reverse. And I knew that they wanted to put me on this and diabetes and all that. I'm like, okay. And that's when I just started, even educating myself on more with diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff to help with
That's
that because I'm just
reversible.
like,
Yep.
I'm like,
Yep.
I can't do this.
Inflammation.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do this. And I couldn't. I tried and it got me so sick. I said, it's not worth. I'm not taking this. So I took myself off of
Mm.
It's
So
So.
so
inflammation of the body. Everything is. That's the inflammation of the body. Even it's starting in your pituitary gland, is making your hormones off, which causes parts of PCOS. Is we look at everything as being inflamed. What do you got to do to get the inflammation off? And a lot of it is fruits, vegetables, good meat, not
Yeah.
the processed stuff,
Hmm.
drinking water, all the stuff that God gave us on this earth. That a
That's
lot
it.
of it doesn't
So.
have. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
natural stuff. Because you take metformin long enough, your kidneys go bad. Then I got to call
Yeah.
and say, hey, can you give me medicine for my kidneys?
Yeah.
Now you on
Yeah.
suicide watch. Now you here because it's an imbalance. So we
Yeah.
look at everything and make it like, okay, I got this diagnosis, but it's just inflammation of my body. Everything. People
Mm.
don't know, like psoriasis, the skin,
Mm-hmm.
and arthritis is the same thing.
Yep, inflammation.
Psoriasis is inflammation. It's arthritis on the skin. So people don't understand it's the same I work for a medication company, and I'm like, y'all prescribing the same stuff for two different things. It's inflammation just on the outside. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
polycystic ovarian. It starts in our brain. It starts there, and where's your hormones start in your brain, and it's swollen and it's inflamed, and now everything is just chemically
Out of
off. And you
whack.
don't have enough estrogen, you don't have enough testosterone, which is mine. I have enough estrogen like you, so that's where. But as I got older, it's now. Listen, I'm going through perimenopause, so believe me, it added up. It came on back
And you
where it's
know
supposed. It
what?
ordered
That
itself out.
menopause, when people be like menopause, you only get menopause at a certain baby, listen. I'm 34 and I'm already going through it.
Does it make
I've
it start earlier?
I've been going through it for a while and I thought I
I've
was
heard
just
that.
I had to see
It's a
like
depend on the person. Yeah.
yeah, like
Hmm.
I started like it was just so many changes I was having. I'm like, what is going on other than, you know what I'm saying? Then I was breaking out in real bad sweats a lot, you know what I'm saying, throughout the
Mm.
night, everything. I had to look into it, do a little deep. I already done start experiencing
And
premenopause.
now
Like,
you can
you know
start
what
in
I'm
your
saying?
30s stuff
Yep,
now.
I
Yeah.
already started. And
Mhm.
like with me, see my estrogen, see, I was on the opposite end. That's why I didn't do a lot of the hair growth. But see,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
like I said, mine came in more so with the weight, with the acne, with the losing of hair, with the
It can
being
make you
stressed,
lose your
Out
hair
the
too.
scalp.
with the
Oh
Clean
being
out the
yeah.
scalp.
stressed. Yep,
Follicles and all. Okay.
yep.
You be
Like
like,
your hair can come out. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
mm-hmm.
It's
My
so
hair.
crazy because a lot of this, it did start like more stuff start kicking a little stronger as I kind of went through a different transition, a part of life too. It start kicking in a little bit more. But yeah, you can lose your hair. It's hard
Mm-hmm.
for your hair to grow back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people get a lot of hair, some people may lose hair. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm.
So that can come with it too. That's a part of one of the types.
I didn't know if
Weight
y'all could
gain
see
is
comments
universal.
outside. It's a
No,
lot
let
of
me
people
see.
chiming in saying,
Let me
"Hey,
see.
hey, everybody."
Hey.
One said the medicine it makes her sick every day. She takes it. Um, hey, that's so messed up. Because if it make you sick every day, and then this is what they prescribe, and you don't know what else to do,
Yeah.
it's like, what do you do?
Sometimes taking it at night, if you can sleep through it. Sometimes I used to take mine at night so that I would be in a dead sleep. So in the morning, I wouldn't feel as bad as just like going through my day and trying to take it. But whatever the doctor says is, but you just got to make it fit for you. You got to make it fit for you. But being sick every day stuff.
I agree, and that's how I feel
You
too.
lost
Like
Erica.
you have to do what fits for you. That's why I was like, once you see what's going on with your body, you know what I'm saying. Once you really educate yourself, and you really
You got
have
to,
to, you have to educate yourself, man.
you
Like
have
I can't stress that enough. Like nowadays, we have to advocate for ourselves. All of that, like these doctors, if we think about it, I mean, medicine is what gets them paid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's what get them
Facts.
paid. So, we see all these herbalists that's doing stuff and they be like, oh, you got to protect that person because they're healing people through herbs. Like what a lot of people don't understand, herbs been around. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Certain stuff our grandparents and they all used to use. And even before then, like this stuff used to be used to heal our body. And I am a witness of that. Like, using certain stuff, drinking my teas, eating my
Mm-hmm.
Lord.
vegetables, my fruit, staying away from sugar, you know what I'm saying? Processed stuff. It can make a big difference. Like I can't even tell you when the last time I had got sick. Now I did recently have like an upper like little respiratory because I went through some stuff and kind of like stressed my body a little bit. But just overall, just changing certain stuff, it can help. You know what I'm saying? Certain meats,
Mm-hmm.
taking certain meats away, or just not eating meats and finding different sources of stuff. Point is, educate yourself, because
Right.
Yeah, you're
when you lost on something, when you don't know something, the thing about PCOS, it can have overlapping symptoms. You know what
Mm-hmm.
yep.
I'm saying? And so that's what I deal with. I deal with overlapping symptoms. So you know what I'm saying? Somebody can be like, oh, I deal with this. But also if you look at the other one, they're like, I deal with this. That's type 1, type 2, type 3, type
Right.
4. I deal with all of them. I have overlapping symptoms. So I had to find what worked for me first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think weight
I
gain kind of goes with all of them. I think
All of
that's
yeah.
the
them.
one
Yeah.
thing is weight gain because I'm only 5 feet. I know I look like I'm 6 feet, but I'm not. I'm only 5 feet, and I was up to 277 before I had a baby, and I was walking around just fine. I was so good, and then when my kids passed away, I got down to a size 2. But after every time I would get pregnant, my body remember it went right back to 277 pregnant. Every time it was 277 was my goal. And so once I had my last child, when I figured out my way of eating and like you said, educating myself, I've been staying here at like 180 for a while, for some years. But it took me my whole life. It's people that was like, "You had surgery." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I just my body. There's nothing I could do." They wouldn't give me surgery back when they were doing gastric because I wasn't sick enough. I didn't have all the
Mm-hmm.
now they give it out a little differently, but back in like early 2000s, I couldn't get gastric. And I was a candidate. You would think I'm 5 feet, 207. I was a size 22 at 5 feet. But
Mm.
now it's like, I can tell when I get near my 200 range, I can start feeling certain
The
symptoms
scent.
come back up. So
Mm-hmm.
I have, yup. So I got to keep myself, but it kind of
Facts.
helped me know, and I had to find out what worked for me. I have to do cardio. I have to be a faster because I know I
Mhm.
have to fast throughout the day. I had to figure out you know, later in life what fit my body type, what fit me, and it keeps my weight in a certain. Because, like you said, like you were saying, as soon as you get to a certain weight, all those symptoms start coming back,
Mhm.
and
I want to
that.
ask, like y'all said, like Jericho, you had said you found out that your father's side deals with it too. So
Mhm.
were them women? Did they express it? Did y'all come together and like help and tell like you can do this and do that? Because like I said,
No,
it seemed like it's something that's rarely talked about. Like I don't know, I don't want to say women are ashamed or embarrassed, but that's what it kind of seems like. So that's why
it's
they talk about.
very, it's very shameful. It's not something that's highly spoken about because it's embarrassing. You as a
Mm,
woman, you want to present yourself as a woman, but here you come with all these symptoms. You know what I'm saying? Facial hair.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? I literally have a female face, but I
Mhm,
grow this and all of this. Like all of
mhm,
this. Like I grow the whole thing. So it's like it's embarrassing. It really is. Like you got some women out here that embrace it. They take pictures with their face.
mhm.
I'm not doing that. I'm not
So that's
I'm
not you,
not
right?
that's not
Mhm,
that's not who I am. That's not what I'm representing. But I will put people up on game. As far as what I've done to try to help. Like my cousin let me know that you can reverse the hair growth. Well, not reverse it, but it can be removed and it won't grow back. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying by LASIK hair removal. So that's what I've been working on. I'm actually going to an appointment for that.
Oh,
She
good.
said it took 18 months for her to get hers completely gone. So that's my next goal. Um,
Mhm.
it's just the embarrassment thing. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah, I appreciate this. Has been really like a
And
great
it
conversation.
messes with relationships too.
I
Yes.
was about to say you freezing on me, Charnay.
It messes with relationships. Huh?
You was
What you
freezing
say? Can
on
you
me.
all hear me? Because I had to walk out where I was at. Can y'all hear me?
Now
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah,
Now
we
we
can
can.
I'm
now.
sorry. Now I was saying it mess up relationships. It mess up relationships.
Ma'am, you're freezing. You sound like a scratched DVD.
I know. Oh, she's scratching up.
That's
It
right. She's
mess
scratching.
DJ.
it does mess up relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they don't understand, and
They
because
don't
it's something that's
understand.
not really talked about.
And then you're trying to
Mm,
have children and you can't, and then it's like, what well, you knew you couldn't have kids. No, I didn't. I didn't know that. I mean, and it's not like I can't have kids, but I don't want to. I just don't want to go through all that stuff to have kids. Like I've had my ovaries tested, I've had my eggs tested, my reserve. You know, I ovulate, all that. I don't know. So I was just like, listen, I'm 38 now. I give up. I'm not doing it. I'm not having kids. I'm just not. I'll adopt. I was adopted. Hey, give back to the
Oh,
community. I'm
man.
not doing.
We have a lady on the side that said, Anita says, LASIK hair removal doesn't work for everyone. My bestie spent thousands and it helped. It's just not as thick, but she still grows hair.
Mm.
So, you know what I'm saying? She has to, can't see that thing. She has to do it long term.
Oh
So, yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep
Yeah, it might
going.
be different strokes for different folks when it comes to that. Then
And Deborah
that's
said, I
understandable.
adopted. That's the best thing that she ever did. So, it's nothing wrong with that, ladies, but definitely find out about your body. I hope a lot of ladies really tune into this episode because you might be going through some of these symptoms and not know what it is. You just think your body's changing. You just think you're gaining weight. You just think, go get it checked, man.
yeah.
Definitely important. And then now, you know what I'm saying, with this information out here, you'll be able to explain to the doctor what you're actually going through because doctors don't really be knowing for real.
They
It's a
don't.
And don't always
They
look
don't.
at don't always look at your age, because I know you being adopted, it's personal to you to go adopt. Like I feel like you would do a great, and sometimes God allows things so that the orphanages aren't filled with children. So you
Right.
you can
Facts.
you can benefit with I wasn't adopted, so I could take care of an adopted baby, but there's things that you could figure out and you can see and give that baby that I couldn't. But I
Right.
want
Right.
us as black women, I want y'all to hear me loud all over the world. We got to stop looking at our age. When I had my daughter at 38, my baby's a snow baby. I was one of the youngest women at U of M having a baby during that season. We're told to have our babies before 30. We're told to do this. I'm in
Yeah.
better shape now than I was at 22. Mentally, emotionally, physically, everything. I'm a cheer coach. I do not, now mind you, I do soak in some Epsom salt from time to time and crackers, but I'm saying they tell us to have our children. We know who they are before we are established, before we get
Hmm.
out of college, before we get our,
Right.
so your kids see some of those struggle things.
Hmm.
So I'm telling you this, if you are 38, 48, 58, whatever it is, and you feel in your heart that God says that you can still have a baby and God changed some stuff around for you go ahead and do it, because he'll make you be able. I'm not trying to preach, but I'm just a woman that
No,
was
I
told that
understand.
No, it
I
needs
couldn't hold babies. So even though I had PCOS, when I did get pregnant, my babies fell out of me. When I did, my third son died in my arms. So here I am with PCOS. I finally made it, y'all. I finally got a baby, and they're dying. I got to this point and they're dying. And I'm like, I'm not going to, but when I stopped and said, you know what? I'm still going to adopt too. I'm gonna follow. I'm still going to adopt. But once I got to the point where I said, it's out of my hands. And it's almost like giving up is okay. It's giving up. You're saying, just take the lead. I'm just going to go through life. I'm going to get my knowledge. I'm going
You
to get my
got it.
health. When you take your hands off of it, baby, I'm going to tell you, the pressure comes off. And whatever age, God will equip you mentally, emotionally, physically, with whatever you need to. Even adoption at 38 ain't easy. It's a
Right.
process to go through
Facts.
adoption, emotionally,
Facts.
and even having a child that could have trauma. I applaud you, because you're giving back what somebody blessed you with. You're going to give to some other baby. And maybe if you had 10 babies, you wouldn't have even thought to do that for somebody else. So
Right.
you don't never know why, but God pushed you through a situation. But I just want whether you want to adopt or not, thank God some women got their ovaries. Thank God when I came out of my stuff, I still had all my everything that
Right.
some women come out of surgery with nothing and there's no option.
Yeah.
So I'll be praying for you and your baby when you get ready to adopt. And so you can give them that love that they're supposed to get, that you
Man.
know about.
Yes,
And you
indeed.
know what? And you know what? I can't even sit here because God just said something to me. He just said something to me. He said, "Girl, we just had this talk about your life and about your journey and about your story and about you being inspiration to other people." All right, so look, I'm gonna say this: PCOS, it can be reversed. Some things can be changed. I have had another baby. Okay, I have had a
Congratulations.
baby. I'm actually on my journey right now to recovery. I am actually, The rest of it that came along with that, I will tell that personal part in my interview when I have it with sleep, when we have it personal. But I just want to tell y'all, because I couldn't get off of here. God just like, hold on, girl,
Come on now.
you want a PCOS? You feel me? Let's talk about it. So I just want to let
Come
y'all
on.
know, like, 34 years old, God bless me. God bless me. So
Come on now.
I have a baby girl. She actually just turned 6 months on June 1st.
That's
She was
good.
Congratulations.
she was born
Congratulations.
premature. So I actually
Hmm.
did go through the me and my daughter almost died. So she came 2 months and 2 weeks early. Um and I went through a really hard time. So right now, on top of what I've already had, postpartum, is something that I'm currently, going through right now, but I'm just want to be encouraging and just also say that when God, what you was just saying, because that just spoke to me, when God is ready for you to conceive, let's just say it will happen. Because no, I wasn't trying to, no, I didn't plan, God, he did that,
That's
and
right.
Mm-hmm.
for me to go in that hospital, my placenta detached. So I bled out almost to death. I got to the hospital just in time.
Mhm.
I had to go through some things or whatever. My placenta detached, and I bled out almost to death. Um, but
Mhm.
God had an
But
assignment over
God.
me and
Okay.
That's
my
right.
life.
That's right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, to be another encouragement. It can happen, but it also comes with taking care of yourself, starting
That's
here,
right.
your mental. When you are going through things, because things, I'm gonna drop all of this when I have my interview with her, but
I can't wait to hear.
life done kicked my ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just
Mm-hmm.
be
Mhm.
honest. Life done kicked
Mm-hmm.
my ass, man. You feel me? And even at the times when I did try to test the waters, you feel me? I wasn't ready for no kid anyway. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm.
And
Come on.
God wasn't about to hand me a baby. My son was a twin. I miscarried with one of my babies with him. So he was fraternal. So I got two rainbow babies now. You know what I'm saying? But God blessed me with my girl. I feel like that was just my baby that came back around. And I,
Mhm.
I noticed that with me just taking care of myself, all this just came along with me working out, with me eating better, me getting closer
Right.
to God, me taking care of myself. And next thing you know, I end up, my grandpa had
Yep.
passed away a week before, and I end up conceiving a week later with my daughter. And, so I just want to say, it can happen. Don't let nothing deteriorate you. And when you start thinking negative thoughts too, what you speak off your tongue and what you also think in your mind can also
Uh-huh.
pour
Yep.
into your
Yep.
life. So,
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
encouraging to a lot of y'all as well. You feel, because I just graduated as a community health worker and I learned so much stuff.
Congratulations.
Speak. Thank you. Speak positive to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Speak, speak light into yourself. If you want to have a baby, tell yourself that I want to have a baby and
That's
do
right.
things to take care of your body. God is not
Mhm.
going to place you with a child when your body is not well and when you are not well.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes don't just think of it as I got this condition, I cannot have kids, because that is what I thought. I mean, it's been
Mhm.
11 years. I had
Yeah.
my son at 24, then here he is. He done gave me another baby 10 years
That's a
later at
little
34. You know what I'm saying?
more.
So that comes to tell you too that there's no age on anything. Like some people at first was like, "Oh, you a baby at 30 something." I mean, what was I supposed to have? One at 13? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mhm. But come
let's
on now.
let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I actually feel probably one of the best. I mean, despite some of the things that I am going through, my life is somebody's prayer. So I'm thankful and grateful for what I
Come on
have,
now.
you know what I'm saying,
Right.
right now and what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? But just know that things can be reversed. There is a light. If you want a child, just work on yourself. And I mean, I don't know. God got different, stories for everybody. But all I can
Mhm.
say is I spoke existence into certain things as far as over changing, helping myself. Now I didn't speak existence into the baby. Now I didn't say I want, you feel me, but she came. But
She here. Yep.
Right.
be here. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is like just me wanting to just get better. Me telling God, like, what do you know what I'm saying? Just educating myself on this PCOS. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it did. I mean, it tore me down for 10, 11 years. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I feel really good at 34 now that I have changed some things in my life now that I have educated myself. And I'm going to keep saying educate because I need to educate. I can
Yeah.
tell you anything about what I went through, but our
Right.
bodies is not the same.
Right.
You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? So I can detox and go on this thing and start something, but something may not work for you. You have to see what first works for you. But I
Fact.
just wanted to just spit that real quick before I got out here to tell y'all that yes, I do have my baby. You feel me? So I
Come
got a
on.
boy and girl now,
Congratulations.
and I am
Congratulations.
I am going to be also dropping something because through this journey, I mean, I'm not yet working. I've been down for 6 months, being a stay at home mom, just working on myself, getting through this postpartum. I did write a journal. So I will
Good.
be starting a movement called She Heals.
Mm,
So, y'all can, just,
please
follow
let
me
us
on
know.
that. I will talk deeper into that, but I do have a journal I actually am going to be launching tonight. Um,
Okay.
tonight. So once I launch that and everything, anybody is more than welcome to DM me to get a
That's dope.
copy, but it
Okay.
was made from the heart, was made with just, me having a couple of dollars, you know what I'm saying? But
That's the
also
best
with
one. Yep.
a
Yeah, it
story,
Yep.
is.
with a
Yeah, it
story. So I'm,
is.
I'm hoping that it can help some other moms. It got some affirmations in there, some free affirmations. It got just some journal entries and stuff every day. It got a breastfeeding law. Just got some things that help me through my NICU nights and my
Okay.
postpartum that I'm still,
That's dope.
still even working on. So
Yeah.
just thought that
That's
I'd
dope.
throw that out there and let y'all know y'all can really get in touch with me too,
Proud
because
of
I
you.
didn't want to
Proud
I
of
didn't want to leave that out. If anybody need help with anything, with just getting focused with meal plans, everything, you know what I'm saying? Type by Charnay, that's one of my brands too. That's why I went on a health journey, because I knew that I wanted to use my life as a testimony and also to help other people through actual real
it.
life things. Nothing
Yeah.
that I just made up, nothing that I just
Yeah.
studied, but actually stuff that I went through myself. You
Adversity.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Adversity heals a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Woo.
so I just
Yeah.
wanted to spit
Mm,
that out there, and I appreciate you too for having us, Sleep for having
I
me on here, man.
know.
You know it,
And
man.
I would love to connect with y'all too, so we can, get together. And I mean,
Oh
maybe,
yeah, we
maybe we can
sisters
just
in
start.
this.
Start a sister,
Yeah,
Okay.
we can
sister circle.
start something, and
Mm,
keep the
Yeah.
movement going. Because
Right.
I
Cause you
prayed on that. I prayed on that,
you
and I
got
feel
you
like
got the
this is going.
old woman with the baby. You got Jerica and her adoption. You got you having a baby 11 years apart in your 30s. We can reach the whole spectrum because Jerica, you can talk to that little girl with the deep voice
Uh-huh.
that's 10 now that don't have nobody to talk to because she's
Yep.
embarrassed, and you can help her get
Yeah.
through school. These are things I can help the
Yes.
lady that old as dust is, thinking she can't
Like
have no
that
baby
old
and still
girl.
trying to drop it like it's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we all we can reach the spectrum of women, and it can start right here, right now. For
Right.
real.
So if y'all
Yeah.
don't
I'm
mind,
proud of y'all. Thanks, Tiff.
maybe like dropping y'all's Facebook page, so if people want to get in touch with y'all and maybe ask questions, or if y'all know of any groups that women can get in that talk about PCOS, we can start with you, Jerica.
My Facebook page is Jerica Lewis. Um, Let me see. I'm in a couple of PCOS groups on Facebook. I'd have to look them up and maybe post a link or something. But I don't. I just Google PCOS on there. But y'all
Hmm.
can find me at Jerica Lewis on Facebook.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
What about you also, Si?
Oh, oh, Key of E1 on Instagram, so which is connected to my Facebook. So just Key of E,
Mm-hmm.
because I sing in the key of E. Really, I do, and my name starts with E. So just Key of E number one at Instagram, and if anything, I can offer prayer. If you need prayer, hallelujah, or you need someone to talk to, laugh with, talk through everything. I think all of us on here have gone through. Nothing's gonna shock us that you're going through. That
Right.
yeah, we can talk to you about it.
Thank you. I appreciate you ladies so much. I ain't gonna take up no more of y'all's time, but I hope y'all chime in. This has really been an important episode. Thank y'all for being so open and so vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Really appreciate that. Cause like we said before, a lot of people don't talk about it out of being
Mm-hmm.
embarrassed or what I'm saying, being shameful. But I appreciate you ladies, you know what I'm saying, for explaining it and telling y'all story. For real. I thank
Thank
y'all
you
Thanks
so
for
for
much.
that.
having us. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.
I
No
appreciate
problem, no problem. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day, and we gonna get up out of here.
All right, you too.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Yeah.